Talking Trotters, coming to you from Queensland, a very sunny Queensland. We're actually underneath the tree. Firstly, Chantal Turpin joins me. Hello, Chantal.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, and it's basically through Talking Trotters that I've been able to find out a little bit more, try to find out a little bit more about you and training trotters, and we will get to those, but must say also a big thank you to my sponsors, Rasta Trotters, for helping make these possible. Firstly, Chantal, where exactly are I? I'm outside of Brisbane, I know that, but whereabouts roughly am I?
We're probably in the middle, so an hour to Brisbane and an hour to Toowoomba.
Rightio. So, and it's a beautiful part of the area, world. I will say that it's very quiet where we are here. It's, how long have you been here for?
We brought it 10 years ago, so we brought it and it just had the house, so we've set up everything.
And when you say we, Peter McMullen is your husband. Yeah, I'm a husband and wife. You just didn't like McMullen as a surname, so you kept your own name. Is that how it works?
Oh, no, not really. I'm McMullen for everything but the horses.
Right, Talking Trotters, and anyone wants to see, I'm going to catch up with Pete in a little bit, and maybe Chantal before she goes and does a school run. But I suppose raising the awareness for the Trotters and what's going on, and through that I've been starting to look at Albion Park on a Tuesday afternoon, and got intrigued to me after a while. I'm like, how many Trotters does Chantal train? How many Trotters do you have in work?
Oh, I don't actually know. I think there'd probably be 10 or maybe a little more.
And they must be just about all racing.
Yeah, we've just put all the 2-year-olds out now, so 4 went to the paddock. But yeah, no, most of them are racing.
Where'd the love of the trotter come from?
Probably my father. When I first started out, Dad had 15 in work and 13 of them were trotters.
And here in Queensland, like we watch from afar, like in Victoria, they're growing at a rapid rate. And I would have said New South Wales were probably, growing the second fastest. But for the amount of horses that race here in Queensland, the trotters are all of a sudden just exploding, aren't they?
Yeah, there's probably 2 trot races every Tuesday and Friday, and then at least one Saturday night. So there's a fair few of them around.
Back there when you had the triads, it was 3 and 4. I think one day there was 4 trot races, which is just exciting for us to be able to see that.
Yeah, it is. Queensland have put a lot of money into the young trotters, so it's starting to get going up in Queensland.
So Dad trained trotters predominantly. Did he have a lot of luck with the younger ones?
Yeah, he did. But yeah, he kind of retired and gave up when Pete and I went out on our own, and he manages Albion Park now.
And looks like he does all the hard work. What's Dad's name?
Tony,
very good. We'll have to make sure we look after Tony. I might have met him actually there last time, I think. But that's okay. I'm hopeless at forgetting things. You've got a great association with Trump Bloodstock, and that's probably, I suppose, giving you access to some, I won't say better bred horses, but differently bred horses?
Yeah, one day Pete and I just went there on a Saturday to have a look at all of his horses, and we actually brought 2 of his. And then from that, we just got the association and he started sending us horses.
And nicely bred horses coming through. You had one in the Nutrient Classic who unfortunately went amiss. There was some big raps on her for the heat. I know Mark Barton, he was tipping her and she almost won the heat, and there was you got the right barrier draw and everything, but unfortunately it just went a bit pear-shaped for the final.
Yeah, it did. Unfortunately, she whacked a leg during the week and we've had to scratch her.
What's her name?
Venus Love.
Yeah, Venus Love, that was right. You're looking over at Pete for help.
Love Venus, because her stable name's Love.
But she'll come back to the track, she'll make it back to the racetrack?
Yeah, definitely. She's in the paddock and she'll probably come back in soon.
For the Victorians, the filly that I could have almost been doing a great interview for you with the Edgar Tatlow on Saturday night, only narrowly been beaten. But Susan is her name. A lot of people, it's a mouthful in a way. I might ask you where the name comes from, but you must be stoked with how she's measured up down there, because the little filly that beat her Rocking With Attitude is yet to be. I think she's unbeaten, Rocking With Attitude. So it's a good form line to go down with short half head to that little filly.
Yeah, it is. She's doing a great job down there. She won her first 2 starts up here before she headed down, and she's hopefully got a lot of improvement in her.
How do you know what's going to measure up for Victoria and maybe the strongest trot races?
I don't really know. We just she went good, and we thought, she's Vic bred, so why not just send her down there? It's pointless her being up here.
And she made a very, very big impression. I think she beat Dichotomy at Maryborough, and she's a lovely filly, Dichotomy, as well. So you must have been stoked to say, rightio, we've got a live chance.
Yeah, the owner, Bruce, he comes out and helps us, and he's pretty excited about it.
I bet. Is he going to go down for the Redwood? The Redwood's in roughly 2 weeks' time, I suppose. From the time this goes, about 12 days' time, anyway.
He probably wants to, but I keep telling him just to stay away.
leave them to it.
Yeah, just leave him and enjoy the ride.
It's a great all-trotting day. Don't worry about that. You guys all should fly down. You'll be able to experience some cooler weather, some rain and everything else like that. It's all happening in Victoria. You were saying to me just there before you've sent another horse now down to Emma Stewart, a 3-year-old colt.
Yeah, we decided to send our 3-year-old colt down after he won the triad up here last week. So, we sent I'll be late down.
So, and his main aim is?
Probably the Derby.
Yeah, which heats are on Sunday.
Yeah.
So you'll be tuned in anyway. Well, if you have too. If you have him make the Derby and then the Tatlow, there's every chance you might jump on a plane.
Oh, I'm not a fan of the cold.
And it is cold, don't worry, and it is wet at the minute. It's not as nice as up here. So the rest of your trotting team, obviously you like the 2-year-olds. Well, do you like the 2-year-olds or do you like the older trotters better?
Pete's probably more of a baby man. I like the older ones. I just find them easier, and Pete likes the babies, so that was his venture.
He went that way, and you just said, "Oh, we'll go from there." But is there an excitement level here in Queensland with where the trotters might end up?
Yeah, look, I think all our ones that we raced this year, they all went quite well. I think they'd measure up anywhere really. Razzle Me Dazzle Me was running a last half in 56, his first start. So I think he'll go all right anywhere.
Did you have another one? You got some funny names, I know that. I was looking at some, I think one ran about a 28.5 quarter, is that right? Was it a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old?
Probably we'll see how you go. He was pretty quick. He got his name because Pete always says we'll see how we go. So that's how his name come about.
I know a lot of people have done that and the horses are no good, but he goes okay. So don't worry about that. What are your hopes with the trotters? Like how far do you hope to get them to go?
Well, we're just going to give them a good spell now. They'll probably have 4 months off, and we'll bring them back next year for our triads and the springboard. But a few of them are the New South Wales Challenge, so we'll take them down to Menangle next year.
Is that one of the, I suppose, conveniences here compared to us where we have wall-to-wall racing all the time? You can say, right, well, there's nothing for them, so we can tip them out now. And I suppose, because I think at Redcliffe tonight, is there a small 2-year-old trot? Or last week, I think there was a 2-year-old trot, and it only had about 3, so it gives other people in the area still that chance of being able to earn money. Yeah,
I think most of the 2-year-olds now have gone out. I think there's only probably 2 that haven't won their bonus, so they were probably racing to try and get their bonus last week, but a lot of them have gone out now.
And that makes it easier for you guys and cut your numbers back a little bit because you are working a lot. And as I said, you're going to have an interview with Pete and probably yourself in a minute. The best of your older horses, what would your best older horse be?
Probably Black Sedans.
No,
he is the best one.
Yeah. Any more that we got sleepers that maybe people can keep an eye on, and anything that maybe you're going to head down to Victoria?
Probably Big Wheels, Black Sedan's little brother goes good as well, and Uncle Shank.
You might have to set a satellite stable up down in Victoria.
Way too cold.
It's a lovely part. Chantel, thank you for joining me. Thanks for talking trotters, and I just love what you're doing, promoting the trotter. I love the trotter. There's so many people that do, and I think that's the best way to grow our sport because it's untapped. The more we can get of those, you must be wrapped with how Racing Queensland are looking after you guys too, and helping you to get these trotters up and going.
Yeah, definitely. Racing Queensland invested a lot of money and put a lot of time into getting the baby trotters up and going. Bringing all their broodmares up and giving the service fees, so it's been great. It's been rewarding.
Between that and a few of the other studs, like not just Trump, you guys, a lot more people starting to stand horses, so it's exciting times in Queensland, full stop, not just for the trotters.
Yeah, definitely.
Chantel, thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Chantel Turpin, and obviously I'm not live tonight. I'm actually in a car park of a service station that's pretty busy. We've got some trucks and that going along, but Talking Trotters proudly brought to you by Harass to Trotters, and as I always say, I try to do these shows live when I can on the YouTube page, but tonight just not possible. I'm on my way to Chinchilla to do some camp draft reporting going up, but another big week for the Trotters. This will be a little bit short. We'll start off at the end. We'll go to Saturday night at Melton with some really, really big races. We might start actually with the Oaks, won by Aldebaran Keeper for Aldebaran Park, Duncan McPherson, of course, with the Hackett and Wallace combination, or Brent Lilly, I think, is actually the caretaker trainer for that horse now. But brilliant little win there with the Aldebaran Park Oaks. Mum Pays the Bills was terrific in second for the Barneses. I would like to have catched up caught up with Bradley and David, which I will do when I get back to Victoria, and Revelstoke for Harasta Trotters running in third. The Murray Miss was won by Queen Alida. She's just a beautiful filly, a high-speed filly, and bounced back into the winning stalls last week. It was 12 months ago she won the Oaks. She gets back with the Murray Miss. And the other key race on the night was, of course, the Tatlow for the 2-year-old Trotters, and terrific race. Susan is her name, ran second. Of course, Chantal Turpin trained that horse and sent it down to the Tonkins. And, of course, she sent the other gentleman down to the Tonkins as well. So they've got a strong hand coming up in Victoria. But she ran second too, rocking with attitude for Jaden Barker. And I've done a couple of things with Jaden, and I just take my hat off to the boy. He's doing a terrific job, handling the pressure very, very well. And, he's a great young man, doing a great job. And Valerie Lane for Peter and Karen Manning brought up third. But, she's a terrific little horse, rocking with attitude and cheap service fee, doing a great job, and continues to get winner and after winner. After the Saturday night, we went to Maryborough on the Sunday for the Maryborough Trotters Cup, taken out by Parisian Artiste, bred by Harasta Trotters. Little beautiful horse. He's bounced back. That's 2 cups for him this year so far, having already won the Swan Hill Cup, and now winning the Maryborough Cup. Beat a good field, 1 overall, and Don't Care, another young horse coming up through the ranks of the Trotters, are exciting, and especially in these cup fields are very, very exciting. Don't Care and Parisian Artiste, both bred by Harasta Trotters, and both doing a terrific job for all connections and giving the connections great highlights over the journey. Lady Madge Lewis for Danny O'Brien was the other winner. Chris Alford in the cart, and if you listen to Lockie McIntosh's call, it meant enough, because that's actually out of his father's breed that traces back to the Nellie Lewis camp. That is Maryborough on Sunday. Don't forget, Maryborough next Sunday, big meeting coming up. Another all Trotters Day heats of the Victorian Derby, the Victorian Trotters Derby, plus I think it's a Carisbrook Classic is what they call it, for the class trotters as well. So really, really important day. They've got 3 big all Sunday trotting events. Of course, the Redwood the week after. Don't forget to book for the Redwood Rattler. Go to Harness Racing Victoria to book those tickets there, or contact Les at the club and they'll sort those out. And then I think it's Breeders' Crown. Can't be Breeders' Crown. There's yes, it is. It's Breeders' Crown the week after. So plenty going on at Maryborough. They've also picked up a meeting for Charlton, and must say, sorry, it's very remiss of me for all the people affected by the floods that might be watching this. Hopefully you're doing it okay. Hopefully you can get back to the races. I know a lot of people are locked off, but effectively I just hope you are safe, your animals are safe, and everything is well. You'll get back to the races shortly, but just take care of yourself. It's a shocking situation, and hopefully the next lot of rain forecast later this week isn't as bad as what they say for the people in Shepparton and Echuca especially, and any of those regions in between. Of course, this show is brought to you by Harasta Trotters. Don't forget to go to harastatrotters.com to check out all of their stallions, or contact Louise at Harasta Trotters for their full band of trotters. They've got a great strong band, and they're leaving winners everywhere, all across the state. So horses bred by Harasta Trotters, horses trained by Harasta Trotters are winning everywhere. Go back now to Monday at Warragul, and it was the first of the Lang Trot, and it was the only trot there at Warragul, and it was taken out by Rogue Gentleman, having its first start for Chris Lang, and it won the Lang Trot, and I'm sure Chris would love dearly to win the Lang Trot, which is on at Geelong, I believe, this Saturday night, which is the same night as the McNamara Trotters Cup. Great to see the McNamara Trotters Cup, 25,000 or 24,000 I think it is this year. Great to see a stakes increase into that as well. So really exciting for there at Geelong. And actually we can go to, we'll go jump forward to the Friday night, because the other of the Lang trots was won by Elderbarrow Misty for Jeff Webster, and Ryan Duffy, who's doing a terrific job coming back driving and driving some winners everywhere, especially some trotting winners, and horses back running for him. So it's great to see Ryan in the winner's circle, but also the second of the Lang heats won by Elderbarrow Misty for Jeff Webster, who always has a nice trotter in his camp. While we're at Geelong, the 2-year-old trot was won by Moonwalker for Damien Burns. It was the second of the Centurion ATMs to win for the week. I'll get to the other one in a minute. There was only 3 two-year-old trots on. Edgar Tatlow was won by Rockin' with Sierra, and then the other 2 trots were taken out by sons and daughters of Centurion ATM. He's doing a terrific job winning races everywhere. And then the third of the winners at Geelong on the Friday night was Copacabana for Lara J Farms, Greg and Jess. But there was a good little article there put out, a letter put out by Nick Hooper thanking everyone involved. So a bit of a story behind it. So well done to everyone with Copacabana, getting it back to the racetrack, I believe, and back into the winner's stall. So going very, very well. I'm all over the place here. That's what I do. Even when I'm not live, I'm not scripted that well. Trotting Tuesday, as I affectionately call it, Bendigo had 3 trots on. One step ahead for Peter Manning, broke through, a son of Peak, I'm going to go with. James Herbert's in the sulky. Actually, I'll tell a lie because there was another 2-year-old trot. There was 3 2-year-old trots on for the day, but that's all right. 2-year-old trot was won by Murray Franklin for Chris Lang. Greg Sugar's in the sulky on this one here, and owned by Freddie Cruz. And I know Fred was pretty up and about because unfortunately Murray Law, of course, will be out of the Inter-Dominion, and I will catch up with Emmett and then when I get back to Victoria to find out a little bit more about that. And then the third of the trots at Bendigo was Kai Valley Honey Bunny for Brett Lilly and Chris Elford, who had a lethal week, especially when you go back to Saturday night, taking out 2 of the majors, Elderbaron Keeper and Queen Leader, going from there. Well, I should say Elderbaron Keeper is, I'm pretty sure it's still in the Wallace and Hackett name, but trained out of Lily's barn there as well. Went to Redcliffe here in Queensland for me trotting Tuesday. There was only the 2 trots on here in Queensland on that occasion. Glen Eagle Rain for Shane Graham tamed and drove, and another of the Centurion ATM 2-year-olds to win. And then Every Second Counts for Talia McMullen and Trent. I haven't written Trent's surname down, I do know it, and it's Trent Dawson, I think it is, has left me as well. So that was the 2 trots at Redcliffe. Unusual not being at Albion Park. I might ask someone while I'm up here why it wasn't at Albion Park, but clearly not. And then Menangle, they only had the 1 trot as well on Trotting Tuesday. I think we've got to get these clubs back into the mood. But Horse, of course, for Joe Rando and Cameron Hart in the sulky, took out the only trot there at Menangle on the Tuesday. Wednesday, huge day for trotters.